What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Nuggles YouTube channel. Now, today, and probably for the next 2 days as well, I don't know if y'all like this or not. We'll see what happens in this first video. But if you don't know, 2 weekends ago was Orlando Regional, and if you're a fan of this channel, I do not know how you do not know that was happening, because I streamed it and then I posted all the videos of it, and a lot of people have asking for deck lists. And here it is, guys. Pokemon has released all top 8 deck lists. So we got the finals, Azul, we got Alex Shermansky, Ryan Sablehouse, Bart Carashio, Raul Reddy, Igor Costa, Daniel Lopez, and John Orgel. Now, what we're going to do in this video is go over a little bit over the decks, why they played certain cards, and why they decided to play it. Now, this is just going to be theory modding. I don't know if this is why they played it, but, I mean, we're going to talk about some interesting things in a list that some people might not really see or might not really consider in their decks. And like, look at Azul's list for it right now. Now, Azul did win. He's the overall grand champion. Congratulations to him. Like, the biggest Masters tournament, I think, won $5,000, which is amazing. So, let's go over his deck first of all. So, Azul played the pretty much straight Evital Garbodor deck, which we really haven't seen that much anymore. Usually, when you talk about Dark Garbodor, you're thinking of like Dark Giratina Garbodor. And that's maybe Mega Mewtwo Garbodor, you talk about Mega Scizor Garbodor, but you never really talked about just straight Evital Garbodor. He doesn't even play any Darkrai, so he plays one Evital with the Oblivion for 30, attach a Dark Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon, and Darkness Blade for 100, so he can Energy Accelerate with the active, put some energies on his bench that way, but he only plays one, so that's a key thing to note. Now, he does play 2 of the other Evital with the Pitch Black Spear, 60 at 62 bench. Now, this Evital was seen in a bunch of different decks, like Mew, Evital EX, but really wasn't combined with Garbodor either, because it does shut down Fright Knight, because Fright Knight is an amazing ability, mixed where both active players' Pokemon tools do not work. So if you turn Garbodor on, it like that ability doesn't work anymore, which it's really good to shut down like Flowstone stuff, but it's also a really situation as well. Like, some games you might not need Garbodor, and you really need that Fright Knight, so maybe that's when you do it. Like, Volcanion's a weird matchup because you can get down Garbodor and shut down Volcanions, but then you get Evital and shut it down with Fright Knight if you don't get the Garbodor out, because Volcanion does have a really heavy retreat cost. So, I mean, it's really good. Like, Pitch Black Spear is one of the best attacks in the game. 660 is great. Now, I've noticed he played 3 of the Evital EX, which is a main attacker. Evolve does 20, and this attack does 20 more damage, times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon, and Y-Cycle for 90. You move energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon, and this is going to help you keep your energies on the field. Move them around any way you want to, which is really nice. Conserve your energies, which is really cool. Alright, so you played 2 Shaman to help set up, and a 2/2 Garbodor, which is really nice. There's a lot of abilities that weekend, like we saw Greninja, we saw Volcanion, it gets shut down other Fright Knight decks, Giratina doesn't matter because you don't play on Megas. But the main ones are Volcanion and Greninja. If there's anything else cute, like the Golbat deck, you can shut that down. If you want to play an Artillery for some reason, you can shut that down. So Garbodor is a really, really cool card in this deck, and Garbodor is just really strong right now. There's no way to get rid of tools. I know they reprinted the Rattata, but even then the Rattata is not so good because you only get a turn of using ability, so it's still not that great. Now, you played 9 Dark and 4 DC, nothing too crazy, 13 energies. You can play 12, 13, I've seen both those for sure. Now, the first confusing thing to me is 2 Trainers Ball. I imagine it's probably for space, like, right? You didn't have enough space, so you played 2 Trainers Ball. I'm always like 4 none kind of thing. Like, I love 4 Trainers Ball. But look at top 4, finding item card, which is pretty standard stuff. 1 Super Rod, 2 Enhanced Stamina, which is pretty amazing. Almost every deck plays Special Energies. I think every single one of these decks plays Special Energies. Special Energies, Special Energies, Special Energies, Special Energies, Special Energies. Daniel Lopez does not play Special Energies because he's playing Volcanion. But 7 out of 8 play Special Energies, and this way he played the 2 Enhanced Stamina, which is amazing. It can shut down your opponent, or set your opponent back down a turn if all they can do is test that Special Energy for their turn. 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Fighting Spirit to give that Pokemon 40 more HP and do 10 more damage. So that way your Evital EX have 210 HP instead of that 170. Now the 3 Max Elixirs, so that way you can manipulate. You can kind of like manipulate or energy accelerate your energies to your benched Evital EXs, which is the main thing you want to do. Try to get out your energies as quickly as you can to your Pokemon, which is always great. I think that's what he tried to go for. Try to go for Giant Evitals. Like, a Giant Evital is so scary. Like, it does so much damage. And your opponent has to, like, decide how they're going to deal with the Evital X once it starts, like, evolving you for knockout, which is very, very scary, like I said. Now, the tech card that we saw in a bunch of decks is going to be Olympia. Olympia says switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon if you deal her 30 damage from the Pokemon you move to your bench. Now, some crazy stuff I saw happen during the weekend. As I saw Azul, he attaches Fighting Free Belt to his Garbodor, not to like to give her any more HP, because it doesn't work. Fighting Free Belt doesn't give you more HP, but to just shut down abilities, which is amazing. And if your opponent decides to Lysander, like, haha, it's stuck in the X spot, well, you have Olympia. And then when you play Olympia, you have VS Seeker to put it back into your hand, which is fantastic. And that's why Olympia was such a good card overall. Now, 2 Lysander, bring Pokemon off the bench, 3 and 4 Sycamore. Pretty much all staple on all decks. Like 2 Lysander, if you're not playing 2 Lysander decks nowadays, it's pretty crazy. 1 Reverse Valley, 2 Parallel City. So you went 1 reverse, so you can do 10 more damage. It does make some math numbers, I'm not sure off the top of my head. But 10 damage, you always think like, oh, it doesn't really matter too much, don't care about it. But man, that 10 damage does matter so much. 2 Parallel City. Really good against like Rainbow Road. You can put your opponent down to 3, make it maybe make it where they do less damage. You can put yourself down to 3, so you can discard your Shamans, and 3 Floatstone to give this Garbodor a free trade, or anybody else in your field, which is fantastic. So like I said, this is Azul's first place list. Now, if you don't hear me ramble on about everybody else's list, the link will be down below to Pokemon.com. You can click that immediately to find all the other 8 lists. So next up is going to be Alex Shemansky, second place winner. Really good list overall. I mean, multiple people played it. I think 3 people top 8 with it, or top 20, top 32 with it. I think it was Alex Hill, Sean Foisey, and Alex Shemansky. I know Chris Shemansky played it. I think he was relatively close. I don't remember how much, but I think 3 out of 4 people played it, and the 3 people made it, which is amazing. Now this deck does revolve around Vileplume with the Irritated Pollen, which shuts down item cards. Now we saw this deck pretty much make an appearance at Worlds. People thought it kind of died off because, you know, Battle Crest or Revitalized, stuff like that, but it did make an appearance, and it's a really, really strong deck. 2 Glaceon to make it where Evolutions can't hurt you, 2 Jolteon to make it where Bases can't hurt you, 2 Mew EX, so you can copy Glaceon, Jolteon, you copy Regice, you copy Lugia, you can copy any Pokemon in the field. Now the reason I play Mew is because you can copy any Pokemon to play, as long as you have the necessary energies, which you should, because you play the 4 Rainbow energies, which is really nice. And also it has basic Mew has 50, so now he has an increase of 70 more HP, which is a lot to deal with, especially under Vileplume lock. 2 Regice to make where EX Pokemon can't hurt you, so this way if your opponent playing like a Mega Mewtwo deck or something, they can't they can't Mewtwo, then Mega Evolve to get out of it, like haha, like if you attack with Jolteon against a Mewtwo, they'll just Mega Evolve and attack with Mega Mewtwo to knock you out, but when you attack with Regice, they can't hurt you at all, which is fantastic. 1 Lugia X for Air Ball, it does 20 times the amount of energy attached to both Pokemon, and Deep Hurricane does 80. And if there's Stadium card to play, this deck does 70 more damage than Discard Stadium, so you can do 150, which is another, I mean, 150 is not too good of a number, but it could, like, all of a sudden take a knockout, which is very, very nice. Sorry. Split Lugia back up. Airball, really cool attack. Your opponent loads a bunch of energies. You get knocked out that way as well. 1 Magearna, so your opponent can't be so you prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon in play. That has a Metallurgy attached to it, sorry. 1 Manaphy to give free retreat to your Pokemon that have Rainbow Energies tagged to it, or, I mean, Water Energy, sorry, not Rainbow Energies. Water Energy, so basically all your Pokemon have free retreat, which is very nice. If you notice, there's no Floatstone. They did not play that, except play Manaphy with some Water Energies and Rainbow Energies. 1 Manaphy is kind of scary, though, because if you prized one, you're like, oh, man, now the licensed my Vileplume, it's stuck active. But, I mean, it's 1 out of 60. It's a very low odds of prizing it, but still, it's very, very scary. And 1 Jirachi with Stardust to discard energy and basically make the Jirachi invincible, because your opponent cannot hurt it if you discard a special energy during your last turn, which is amazing. This card was great in multiple games, because you can discard, like, Double Dragons, discard DCEs, and then your opponent can't attack you, and they just sit there and look at you like, oh, my goodness, I'm under Vileplume lock, not getting VS Seeker for Lysander. And if I do have a Lysander, I have to decide when I'm going to use it to bring somebody else up, which is very annoying. 4 double colors, 4 Rainbow Energy, and 2 basic water. Mainly because that Manaphy gave him free retreat. Everything was pretty much standard for Sycamore, 4N, for 2 Lysander, 2 Ninja Boys, that way you can switch out your opponent, or switch out one of your base Pokemon with another base Pokemon in your deck. You switch everything, damage counters, conditions, energies, whatever, it switches all of it. 4 Trainers Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Love Ball, trying to get that turn of Vileplume, and of course, 4 Forest of Giant Plants, so that way you can evolve your Grass Pokemon on your first turn. Alright, so that's the second place list. So on third place list, this list actually got 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Yes, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. All the same people, Ryan Sapehouse, Brad Carrasco, and Raul Hood-Ready. They actually play the same list. I know some people say that some people play different things, but there's Ryan's list. We go to Brad Carrasco's. I think, wait, did it change stuff? Hold on. Oh, they switched the cards around. That's all they did. Alright, so we got a Brad Kershaw and see the same exact stuff. We got a Rawls list, same exact stuff as well. They just moved around what was where. So let's go over this deck. So we got Darkrai, which we talked about Dark earlier with Evital and Fright Night and stuff like that. But like I said, the more like Dark deck that we saw was this Darkrai. We really didn't see Evital perform that well overall. Like that could be just because there wasn't that many people playing. Azul is a really good player. Which probably, I mean, it does help you a lot when you're a fantastic player with one of your best decks. So let's go over these lists, these Darkrai Giratina lists. All three are the same exact list. They play all three same thing, and it's crazy that they made third, fourth, I mean, what was it? Third, fourth, and fifth place. Crazy. Alright, so let's go over the list. So, 3 Darkrai with the Dark Pulse 20. This deck does 20 more damage for each Dark Energy attached to all your Pokemon. You can do a ton of damage, especially with the Max Elixir. Try to get Dark Energy on your bench. Do energies that way. And with Double Dragon, they count as 2 Dark Energies, which is another fantastic thing to do. 2 Giratina, and Chaos Will is such a strong attack right now. Earlier I talked about how almost every deck plays Special Energies. So, Chaos Will can do 100. Your opponent can't play any tools, special energy, or stadium cards from their hand during their next turn. You shut that down and pretty much be good to go that way. And the Renegade Pulse makes it where Megas can't hurt you. So that was another big thing at this tournament was Megas. Mainly just Mega Mewtwo, but there's some Mega Guardians as well. So Giratina can shut that down, make it where Megas can't hurt you, and then your opponent can't put down like the tool cards, they can't put down Garbodor, and man, Giratina is such a strong card right now. It has to be one of the strongest one of the strongest cards in the game right now. One Hoopa, which is the first time we saw it right now. I mean, all the other lists didn't really need Hoopa, but Hoopa, let's search for 3 EX Pokemon, 2 Garbodor, we saw that earlier in all the other lists with Azul's as well, and 2 Shaman, okay? And then for Double Dragon, it's Hidden Dark. You try to play a lot of Dark Energy so you can hit the Max Elixir every single turn. I think when we saw a video of Brad, he was like 4 for 4 on Max Elixir. Like he did not miss a single Max Elixir, which is fantastic with Darkrai. Because remember, Darkrai does 20 Dark Balls for 20. This deck does 20 more damage for each Dark Energy attached to all your Pokemon, not just the active, to all of your Pokemon, which is fantastic. So 2 Paralyticity, once again, you can bump your side down to 3, bump your opponent's side to 3, depending on the situation. Like if you're playing against Mega Rayquaza, you can bump Din down to 3, then they're hard to get the Pokemon back out. 3 Fighting Throat, give your Pokemon 40 more HP, makes Giratina have 270, or 210, not 270, oh my goodness. 210 and 220 with the Darkrai. 3 Trainers Balls, once again, we're not playing 4 Trainers Ball, and it's weird that the cards they're cutting is Trainers Ball. Now I guess if you want to kind of copy with Azul did, you could cut a second Trainers Ball for a second Enhanced Hammer, because that's what Azul did with his list. Like if you look, he played 2 Enhanced Hammer and 2 Trainers Ball, while the other people played 3 Trainers Ball, 1 Enhanced Hammer. So you could maybe cut a second Trainers Ball for a second Enhanced Hammer if you want to do that. 4 Max Elixir, 3 Floodstone, 4 Via Seeker, 4 Ultra Ball, 1 Olympia as well, which you see is another good card. And they played 2 in, 2 Lysander, while Azul played 3 in and 2 Lysander. So he played the extra in. Azul had more supported cards overall, which probably does help a little bit more against the Volcanion deck. I think Brad into Lucid or Alex Samansky. Brad playing the same list, like I said. I guess, have the extra supporter card might have helped some, but, man, that just Friday Night Evital just did so much work against Alex Szymanski, just hitting his bench Pokemon, which is fantastic, okay? So, let's see, Olympia, you can switch your active Pokemon, really good card, and everything else pretty much we've seen, and it's kind of like a straightforward Darkrai Giratina deck, just really consistent, really fast. 3 Trainers Ball, you could maybe cut a Handstand for a 4th Trainers Ball if you want to, maybe cut the 3rd Trainers Ball for 2nd Enhanced Hammer, so you can up all Azul's list. I think Darkrai Giratina has to be one of the strongest decks right now. Now, Azul did take down Ryan Sablehouse in top 4. I'm not sure how that match went. I'm pretty sure Fright Night just did a ton of work against these decks, which is the main thing. Like, Fright Night is such a strong card right now. So, next up, we covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next up is going to be Mega Mewtwo Garbodor. Alright, so Igor Costa, our world champion, national world champion, or 2nd place world champion twice? Once? Something like that. Alright, but really good, just consistent deck. So he played 1 Mega Mewtwo. I like how they have 2 different Mega Mewtwo. Why do they have 1 floor and 2 non-flare? Why does it make it the same? Come on, Pokemon. But Psychic Affinity does 10, and then plus 30 more damage counters, or 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon, but it's not affected by weakness. It is affected by resistance, but not weakness. So Psychic Affinity, let's see if you do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So if you both have 6 60 energies combined, which is 3 of 3, which seems like a lot, but it's actually not. Like, it's just a DC and a Mega Turbo. Then your opponent can have 3 energies. You can do 190 damage to start taking knockouts pretty easily, which is fantastic. And this is why Mewtwo is so strong right now. Like, Mewtwo just does so much damage so quick, and that's why your opponent does struggle taking down Mewtwo. It has 2 10 HP. It just needs 2 energy to attack. You can turn 1 DCE, next turn DCE, Mega Turbo, then you have 5 energies on it, you have a base of a 160, and if your opponent has 1 energy, then to get knocked out, which is amazing. Now, the other thing about Mewtwo, which makes it so strong, is this Mewtwo EX with the damage change. Switch all damage counters on this Pokemon with those on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if your opponent does not take a knock on the Mewtwo EX, you can just damage change, move all the energies, move all the damage from that guy to your opponent's active, maybe knock them out, because this guy does have 2 10 HP, so your opponent is like 180. You get damage change and be good to go. 2 Shame to help set up. And another, he actually plays a 2-1 Garbodor line, which is very interesting. Like, we really haven't seen this too much anymore. Like, 2-1 Garbodor. So if you guys winning Garbodors, you cannot use it. Oh, man. But, I mean, this matchup, what you really use it for is for be Volcanion, obviously, but Greninja. Like, Greninja is a very hard matchup. And Garbodor pretty much just says, alright, I'll win now. Because your opponent, they have to license a Garbodor twice, which is not enough to... They have to license it twice while you're steadily just taking a knockout Mega Mewtwo, which is very, very scary for the Greninja player. Alright, so there we go. There's all the Pokemon in his deck. Now he played 7 Psychic and 4 DCE. Once again, DC proven to be in almost every deck. Those hand numbers are so good. But 4 Sycamore, 2 and 2 Lysander. Like I said, if you're not playing 2 Lysander, something's crazy right now. 4 Via Seeker, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Mewtwo Spirit Link, 4 Train as well. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he plays 4 Mega Turbos. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, that's so good. Alright, but there we go. Just really consistent. Just 4 of almost everything, so that way he can hit something over and over again, pretty constant, or pretty consistently, I guess the correct thing to say. 3 Flowstone to give you Garbodors for your treat. Maybe your Hoopas, maybe your Shaman. It's really good. 2 Shrine of Memories, so that way you can copy the Shrine of Memories. Lets you use oh my goodness! Each player is a Fall Pokemon can use attacks from its previous evolutions, which makes it where your Mega Mewtwo can use your Mewtwo EX damage range, which is fantastic. 2 Parallel City, once again, you can control your side of the field. Almost every deck play Parallel City. You can see how good of a card it is. Just manipulate your side of the field or your opponent's side of the field is such a good thing to do nowadays. 1 Super Rod Shell with a combination of 3 Pokemon energies back to your deck and 4 Mega Turbo. So that way, you can attach your basic energy from your discard pile to one of your Mega Evolutions. So that way, Mewtwo out of nowhere can do a ton of damage to your opponent's active and put them in a bad situation. Alright, so there we go. It's Mega Mewtwo Garb. I think Igor lost to... I want to say Darker Giratina. I'm not sure which one. Did we stream it? No, we did not stream it. So I'm not sure who we lost to. I know we had Azul versus Daniel Lopez on stream. Ryan Seahawks took out Rahul Reddy. So we have Brad Curcio, Alex Shemansky, Igor Coster, and John Orgel. So it had to be like Igor versus Alex Shemansky or Igor versus Brad. I'm not sure which one Igor played. But either way, Darker Garbodor evolved from Toolbox to take down both the Mega Mewtwo Garbodor decks. And on that, let's look at John Orgel's decks. It's pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different. 2 Mewtwo, 2 that guy, 2 1 that guy. So basically the same thing right here, except he played 2 Garbodor instead of the 1. 4 Sycamore, 3 in, 2 Lysander, 1 Pokemon Sinulani. Oh my goodness, John Orgel, I love your list right now. Pokemon Sinulani is probably, no, it is my favorite card overall. You heal 60, remove all damage counters. That could be really, really clutch if you can like heal 60 and make it where your opponent can't knock it out. I don't know how good it is. It might be good in the mirror because you can't hit for weakness, which seems interesting. But you play 3 Trainers Balls instead of the 4, 3 Mega Turbo instead of 4. So you can see you could have Trainers Ball and a Mega Turbo for a Sinulani and another Garbodor. And everything else pretty much the same, like 2 Shrine of Memories, 2 Parallel City, 3 Flowstone, 3 VS Seeker. And you can see like how these decks are all kind of the same. Like they're the same skeleton kind of list, just plus or minus 3 or 4 cards. Alright, so the last one we're going to cover is Daniel Lopez playing Volcanion. Alright, so Volcanion, we know how this deck works. Hoopa EX, the Scoundrel search for 3 EX Pokemon, which gets you Volcanions. Volcanions have Steam Up, so you discard a Fire Energy, your attacks do 30, your basic fire Pokemon do 30 more damage, and you have Baby Volcanion with the Power Heater. It does 20, and then you choose 2 bench Pokemon, attach a Fire Energy from your discard pile to each of those Pokemon. Now, if you like triple Steam Up, you can do 90 plus a Power Heater, it's 110, which can actually knock out Shamans, which is fantastic, but What we're going to do is just keep Power Heater, power up some Volcanion EXs, and then start using Volcanion Heat for 130, but you can discard more Fire Energies to do knockouts that way. But once again, you have to worry about Garbodor. We saw that, let's see how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 6 out of 8 players in Top Cut played Garbodor, and you can see why Volcanion's definitely a risky play nowadays, because Volcanion just gets shut down by those Garbodors. They can't use their Steam Ups, they can't do anything, and it's very hard for them to take a knockout because Steam Up, it only does 20 damage. They'll have to like Lysander and Volcanic Heat at the same time take a knockout, but even then, if you do that, you probably get knocked out almost ASAP, well, not so much, the Darkrai Giratina build. I guess Darkrai could maybe knock out in the one hit if they have a ton of energies on the field. But if you're playing against Evitalix, they could one-shot immediately, and this is why Volcanion becomes a bad matchup. Now, I'm pretty sure like Azul did, he did beat Daniel Lopez in top 8. Just Evital is too much for Volcanion to handle with, and you know having Garbodor, it's very, very hard to deal with as well. So there we go. This is all his Pokemon he played. Now, pretty much at this, it's going to get really consistent. We see 4 Sycamore, 3 N, 2 Lysander, 1 Fishman to put 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your hand. 1 Olympia, once again, Olympia is showing up to show that you have the VS Secret First Switch option, which is a very amazing thing to do, because if you're putting a Lysander with Volcanion, they're pretty much stuck, especially if you're playing against Fright Knight. It's stuck in the X spot. He does play 2 Switch and 1 Escape Rope to help him out against Fright Knight just a little bit more, but to guarantee he does play the Olympia with VS Seekers. Alright. So 4 Trainers Ball, which I love, 4 Ultra Ball, and 4 Max Elixir, which is something we really didn't see in that many Volcanions deck. Even in my list, I did not play Max Elixir. I'm like, alright, Max Elixir, whatever, we'll just eventually Power Heater and start powering up our EX that way. But Daniel Lopez saying no. I'm gonna Max Elixir, try to power my Volcanion EXs ASAP, and take knockouts like as quickly as I can, which is fantastic. For VS Seeker. So 1, 2, 3, so 4, 5, 4 of cards of, I guess that's saying 5 sets of cards that 4 of, which is Sycamore, Trainers Ball, Ultra Ball, Max Elixir, VS Seeker, just to be really consistent, which I do love a lot. 3 Flowstone to give your Pokemon a free treat. Those Volcanions do have higher true costs. Volcanion X has 3, and Baby Volcanion has 2, so it is hard to retreat them. But including Flowstone, you play 2 Switch and 1 Escape Rope. Now, we did talk about Fishman, how you turn 4 energies from your discard pile back to your hand, but that's a supporter card. Well, he plays 3 energy retrieval as well. You put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your hand, and that way you don't have to use your supporter card for turn. You can reuse it over and over again, which is fantastic. 1 Escape Rope, both players switch to active Pokemon. 1 Perilous City. Once again, Perilous City showing up in this deck as well. You see, he does not play Skyfield, and this is only supporter card is this 1 Perilous City. So you have to watch out on Plan Stack, because if your opponent puts you down, like where 5 Pokemon do less damage, because 5 Pokemon you see right there, they do 20 less damage if it's flipped to your side, which makes your Volcanions do 0 damage, and all your powered up is with Steam Ups, which is makes things very difficult, especially when Garbodor is in play. And there we go, 1 Fighting Fury as well to give your Volcanions maybe 400 HP. Usually, when I see this list, they play like a higher kind of Fighting Fury belts, which we do not see in Daniel's list. I guess he's opting to go with Max Elixir for sure. That's how you fit the 4. But guys, there we go. Now, the thing to know about these top 8 is Karen was legal, and none of the top 8 played it. Not a single person top 8. I mean, hold on. Alex Smith played it. No, Alex Smith did not play it. Nobody played Karen, right? So no Karen here. If I see Karen and y'all just like, oh, Squeaky Karen's right there. What are you doing? All right. No Karen here. Olympia. It was definitely like the sleeper pick, like sleeper card was Karen. Like I thought, not Karen, Olympia. I thought we'd at least see some Karen, just because Vesqueen was so strong going into this meta. But I guess Giratina said, you know what? I don't care. I'm not gonna play my Karens. I'm just going to knock out Giratina, which is fantastic to do. And guys, there we go. There's a top 8 of Masters. But there's Seniors, Juniors, VGC, Seniors, and Juniors as well. And guys, if you want to see me cover Seniors as well, I can do that. Cover the Juniors as well, I can do that. Let me know what you think. Do you like this? Do you like this? Not. I know it's 25 minutes of me rambling on, but I think it's cool to break down these decks and see why certain players did play certain cards. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. Alrighty. Bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.